Today we're going to be making this really simple baby blanket. It is made up of double crochet and puff stitches all throughout. This is a stroller size baby blanket. So if you want to make this exact size, you're going to do 96 plus 3 chains. If you want to do it bigger or smaller, you just need to make sure you are making multiples of 8 chains plus 3. For this blanket, I use the Cupcake by Lion Brand. You can use any yarn you want that is comparable to this. This is a lightweight 3. It is 590 yards. The color is Street Lights, and I used about 1.5 of these skeins. It is suggested to use a 5mm hook, but I use one just a tad bit bigger. So the first thing you're going to do is make a slip knot. And for this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you a smaller version. I'm going to chain 24, which is a multiple of 8. And then I'm going to chain 3. Now we're going to make a double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. And that will count as your second double crochet. The chain 3 counts as your first double crochet. Now we're going to yarn over and do the next double crochet, and we're going to make one more so that we have a total of 4 double crochets. Now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to skip 1 chain and double crochet into the next one. And then we're going to continue to make 6 more double crochets, so you have a total of 7 after the chain 1. There you have 7. Now we're going to do chain 1, and we're going to skip 1 chain and double crochet into the next. And you're going to repeat this all the way to the end. Once you get to your end, you should have a total of 4 double crochets. So just remember when you are doing this pattern that your beginning and end is always going to be 4 double crochets on your first row. For our second row, we're going to chain 3, turn your work, and then we're going to have 4 double crochets with the first chain 3 as your first double crochet. And so the second one is going to be inserted in the second stitch. And then we're going to make 2 more double crochets, so we have a total of 4. Now we're going to be making our first puff stitch. To do this, we're going to do yarn over, put your hook through the chain 1 space, and pull your yarn through, and we're going to repeat that 5 times. So there's 2, 3, 4, make sure to pull your yarn up so that they're even, and 5. And when you're done, you should have a total of 11 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over, you're going to pull your yarn all through 11 loops. And that's your first stitch. Don't finish it off. Go ahead and yarn over, and we're going to insert our hook into the next stitch and make another double crochet. And this is how it should look so far. Your puff stitch is going to be puffy on the other side. Now remember, after each puff stitch, you are going to do 7 double crochets. Here I'm showing you where your last double crochet should get inserted, because sometimes it does get a little confusing. Now here is our second puff stitch. Remember to yarn over, put your hook through, pull your yarn through, and repeat this 5 times. And you will have 11 loops on your hook. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through all 11 loops. And that is your puff stitch. We're going to yarn over one more time and double crochet into the next stitch. And you will repeat this all the way down till you get to the end. And then just remember when you get to your end that you will have 4 double crochets. Right now I have 3 so far, so there's 1 more right into here. It is a little hard to see when you get in the end, so just remember you have 4 double crochet at your end. And this is how it looks so far. And then I'm going to chain 3. And we're going to turn our work. And remember that the chain 3 is your first double crochet, and we're going to skip the first stitch and make our second double crochet into the second stitch, and then we're going to double crochet all the way across in every single stitch until we get to our end. And just remember when you get to your end that you have that last double crochet. We're going to chain 3 and turn our work. And then we're going to do one more row of all double crochets. And I'll meet you to the end. We're going to chain 3 and turn our work. For our 5th row, we are going to make 8 double crochets in the beginning instead of the 4 like the bottom. So the 3 chains we made, as always, is going to be your first double crochet. And now we're going to make 7 more so that we have a total of 8 double crochets. And then we're going to chain 1, skip the next stitch, and now we're going to make 7 double crochets. We're going to chain 1 and then skip the stitch and double crochet into the next. Now that you're at your end, you're going to do 8 double crochets. So just like the second row where you have your puff stitch, this row is going to be the same exact thing, except you're going to have 8 double crochets in the beginning and 8 double crochets in the end of your row. And anywhere in between that and your puff stitches is going to be 7 double crochets. And then we're going to chain 3 and turn our work. This is going to be our second row of puff stitches. And then we're going to do another 8 double crochets with the first chain 3 as your first double crochet. And we're at our puff stitch, so make sure you yarn over, pull your yarn through, yarn over, pull your yarn through 5 times until you get a total of 11 loops on your hook. Then yarn over one more time and pull the yarn through all of those loops. And then we're going to double crochet into the next stitch. And then we're going to do 7 double crochets. And then we're going to do our next puff stitch at your chain space. And continue this all the way to the end. For this row, your beginning and your ends are going to have 8 instead of 4 like your first row. We're going to chain 3, turn our work, and this is how it should look so far. And for the next 2 rows, we are going to make double crochet all the way across. So once you're done with your 2 rows of double crochet, this is how your project is going to look. You should have one side where the puffs are more prominent than the other side. Once you're all done, all you're going to do is repeat from row 1 all the way to row 8, and you just keep repeating this pattern until you get your desired length of the blanket. On the next video, I will be showing you how I did the ribbing on the blanket, and that will be posted in a few days. Thank you for your support. Thank you for liking my videos. As always, thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay safe and always aim to inspire.